So here's a problem that asks us to find all angles relative to the circle, and these are actually degree measures of some of the arcs. And so the first thing I want to do before I find all the angle measures is find all the arc measures, because I need the arc measures to find the angle measures. So note that this right here is a diameter. It's a chord that runs through the center A of the circle. So a diameter will cut a circle into two 180-degree arcs, right? So that's one 180-degree arc. So since part of it's 50, the other part of it's got to be 130. Similarly, this right here is another 180-degree arc determined by that diameter. So 60, 40, and 30, that's 130. So the rest of it here, this arc measure has got to be 50. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to find the arc measures. Okay, I have all arc measures. Now that I have those, I'm going to go and systematically find each particular angle. And so first I'm going to start with this angle here, A. It's the easiest angle to think about because the arc that angle cuts is 60, and it's a central angle. So the rule for the central angle is that the vertex is on the center of the angle, it's a central angle, and the measure of the angle is the same as the measure of the arc that it cuts. Okay? So that central angle is 60, which means its supplement right next to it, the adjacent angle, is 120. Because 60 plus 120 has got to be 180. Okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and try to find, another angle. And so let's take, for example, let's take this angle right here. I'll call it X. All right? So I'm going to trace it so I can kind of get a handle on what that angle looks like. And I'm going to note where the vertex lies. The vertex is right here. So it's an inscribed angle. The vertex is on the circle. And the arc that it cuts is right here. Okay? So now I have all the information I need. I know the type of angle. It's an inscribed angle. The vertex is on the circle. The measure of the arc it cuts is 60 plus 50, which is 110. So therefore the measure of this angle is half of the measure of the arc that it cuts. So that gives me 55 degrees. Half of 60 plus 50 is half of 110, which is 55. So this angle here is 55 degrees. Okay? Let's move on and find another angle. And again, you can pause this and move on if you need to. But there are lots of other inscribed angles. I'm going to find an external angle. So we only have one external angle, and I'll trace it for you here. The vertex is outside the circle. And here are the two arcs that are cut by that external angle. Okay? Remember, external and internal angles cut two arcs. And so, again, the vertex is right here. It's an external angle. Therefore, the measure of that angle is half of the difference of the two intersected arcs. So half of 130 minus 50. 130 minus 50 is 80. I'm going to take half of that to get 40, which is the measure of that external angle. It's half of 130 minus 50. Of course, 130 minus 50, the quantity first, which is 80. Take half that to get 40. Okay, another type of angle I see in this particular diagram is, let's see if I can find an internal angle that's not a central angle. And so actually I need that 130-degree arc back. And so I'm going to take a look at an inscribed angle. Excuse me, not inscribed, an internal angle. That 55 is a little misleading. That goes right here. That's 55. You already found that one. So I'm going to find this angle. So I'm going to trace it. That's an internal angle. And so if I want to find either of these, remember they're the same by the vertical angle theorem. Excuse me. The arcs that are cut by that internal angle are 50 and 30, right, as noted in yellow. So because it's an internal angle, I take the sum of the two intercepted arcs, so 50 plus 30 gives me 80, and I take half of that to give me 40. So these guys are 40. Those internal angles are essentially the averages of the two intercepted arcs, the average of 50 and 30. Okay? And so I just went through each of the four cases, the four types of angles that we've done. I just showed you. You still have right here this green internal angle. The angle is half of the sum of the two intercepted arcs. Okay, we began with the easiest case, I think, central angle, where the angle is the same as the arc measure that it cuts. Excuse me. Lots of inscribed angles on this particular problem, but the one we did, I believe, was this guy right here. Let's get rid of everything else we don't need. And that angle we found to be 55 because it's half of this whole arc measure, which is 110. And the final type of angle we're dealing with now is this external case, where the vertex is outside the circle. For that case, we take the two intersected arcs, 130 minus 50 divided by 2 to give us 40. All right, thanks for listening. Your homework for tonight is to finish this problem, if you haven't already, and do the second problem on the back. Okay, it's very similar. And do those completely. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.